Hey guys, we have another project finished already, and this is a random password generator. As you can see here, when we click generate, we get a new password for from this application. We can just generate any password we want and take the password. As you can see, after generating, we can copy it and we get a notification after copying it. So we can just generate again and copy, and we can paste it here. See the same thing. So this is the project, and to complete this project we need steps like these ones. The HTML that contains the body, and this body has a password design, copy, and the button. For the CSS, there is the body, styling a heading, we'll give it a heading, this one here. And it also has an input container, and within the container there is an input. There is also a copy icon. Okay, and also we have the generate button, styling the generate button, and we will also generate the alert container. The alert container will be this one here, this one that appears after we copy the password. And now for the JavaScript, as usual, we'll get the elements from the HTML. We will define the function called create password, and also a function called copy password. And we also add the event listeners, listeners for the generate and for the copy. Okay, so we can just get started with our project. This is our HTML here, so let's just get started. And of course we need to structure the body of our password generator, and the title, you can just give it an password generator. Okay, so I like to link the CSS and the JavaScript, uh, just so that I don't forget. So for the CSS and now for the JavaScript, we just link here, just link it by now. Let's just start. We need a div that will have our content. The first thing we need is a h2 heading, and we'll just say generate your random. Okay, let's just open this. We open the live server so that we can see our project. Okay, this is how it looks. Can share the screen. Now we can adjust here a little bit, and the next thing we need to have is another div. This div will have a class input container. So, and inside it we need an input area and copy, the input and the copy icon. So yes, the type will be text, and we need to create a class that we will use for CSS and JavaScript. So the class, we can call it password, and we also need a placeholder. Okay. Placeholder which will be get password. As you can see, this is it. And okay, we need, the next thing we need is a copy icon. So for the copy icon, we just get it from the font awesome. Font awesome here. So we need to, okay, let me just expand it. We search it here. Copy. Need the free versions. So for the free versions, let's select this one, and I always like to have the regular type. So we just copy this one over here. Okay, as you can see, when you just tap it, it copies. So we copy it and we come and paste it inside our HTML. Okay, so uh, after that, we need to get the font awesome CDN. Font awesome CDN, it's over here, and so that this link for font awesome CDN is useful in the HTML, because without it our icon will not display. So let's just copy it and paste it. We can paste it below the CSS, or even before or after, doesn't matter. Okay, so okay, so after that, let's just see how, as you can see, this is how it looks. This is how it looks now. uh, we need to get it this way. Okay, okay, so let's go ahead. The next thing is a button. The button should be outside this input container, should be around here outside it. So it will be outside this div. Okay, so, and just say button, and the button, we are going to say generate, and we give it a class also, class for styling and for using for the JavaScript part. So after this, we also need to create the alert container, as I showed you earlier. The that one will be outside also with a different div. So we are going to name it copied. We just say copied, so that when we copy our password, it will display copied. So we need to give it a class also. The class shall be alert container. Okay. And we also need a class active for the, we will use it for styling and also for the JavaScript functionality. We'll see how it goes. And now, I think this is it for the HTML part. You can now head on to the CSS, having linked it already here. So let's just get it. Where is it? This is our CSS. So let's style our project. As usual, we'll start with the body. We have the body. Okay, so the body, within the body, we need to give our body a background color, and I'll just choose light green. Okay, this one. As you can see, our body has changed. So the next thing is display flex. Okay. So and we need to give it after displaying flex our items. We need we need a line item center. Also justify content center. And we shall use the height. We need the height of 100 viewport height so that our content moves to the center of our page. Okay, and we don't need the margin. I think we shall remove the margin and leave it 0. Okay. So the next thing we need is we need a font. The font, okay, just choose this one. I think this one will look okay. Okay, this way. That's it for the body. So the next thing I would like to continue is the input container. Input container is the one that has this password and this copy. So let's just style it. Input container. Container. And we need to give a margin to separate it from the heading. So the margin top, we need 35 around 5 pixels, and we need a border that is black, pixels black, and for that we need some padding, get some space inside it, so 10 pixels. Okay, and now let's display flex our items to be, we just try content center. Okay, not center, we need space between this one and this one. As you can see, they are separated now. We need to align our items center vertically. Let's come vertically. Okay, now this is it for it. And to prevent this one, we need to include in our here. We need to say we just need read only. Sorry, read only. The next thing we need to style is a password, the password class. Okay. The password is this one here inside the input, the class password. We need to style it. So border, don't name the border. And it has moved. And now we need a background color. See transparent. Okay, as you can see, this is how it looks. And we need to remove the outline. Increase the font size a little bit and give it 24 pixels. The next thing is the letter spacing. We need some spacing. Can just say 4 pixels. Is it necessary really? We can just give it. And now the work of the read only now is this one. As you can see, we can't edit anything inside here. Without it, we can delete the content that is inside here, but when we specify read only, it's just reading only. We can't alter anything. So let's just go ahead and we work on the password placeholder. This placeholder is create password. So we need to say password placeholder with a pseudo class. So it will be password. The pseudo class, we say placeholder. Which has a class fa. If I'm not wrong, just verify. Okay. This one here. So what I need to do is to increase this icon a little bit. So we just say fa 2 times. We need it to increase in size. As you can see, it has increased. And now we need to style it now. We need to give it a cursor. Let's set it to pointer. Okay, so that when we point, it points the finger. And we need to give it some opacity of 0.4, so that this is how it looks. And now we need to change the opacity when we hover around it. It displays a different one. Okay, so this one. And now we add the hover. Okay, for the hover we need an opacity of okay, I can just say 0.8, but when you hover it changes. Now the next thing is the button. Let's style our button over here. And the button, the first thing we need is a background color. We also need it to have a different color. And just give it a green. And color for the text, white. We also need the border. Let's remove the border so that it has no border. And some padding. Need some space inside the letters. We need to create some space. So 10 pixels for the top and bottom, and 20 for the left and right. Is okay. Okay, now let's separate it by giving it a margin. Um, we need to give a margin in the top and the bottom, and the 0 for the left and right. As margin, okay, so that it moves. So, and some font size also, it to the generate to appear bigger. 20 pixels. I need to give it a cursor. Enter. My point. Yes. So the next thing we need to do is when we click the generate, we need it to okay we the class active for this okay for the button and active. Okay, pseudo class we need to transform it, and we will use the scale. We need the scale to scale it to 90% of its original size. So we just say 0.9, so that when we click it, you see this is how it behaves. And now the next thing we need to work on this one here, this copy alert with a class alert container, giving it a class. Okay. And the first thing, we need to give it a position fixed. Okay, so and now we need it to have its position from the right 30%, from the top 40, so that it appears somewhere here. This title, I think we need to work on it. We had not done something here. I need to give up uh, to, to say here break. We need to give it a line break so that it appears this way. Okay. So as you can see our copy, this is where it is now after positioning it in the CSS with this one right and top. We need to increase this font size. Uh, we can have 30 pixels for the size. And now, as you can see, it has changed. Uh, and have some transition of 4 seconds. Now, for the last part before we head on to the JavaScript, we need to hide it so that it will show when we add the JavaScript functionality, it will just show up. To do that, we need to say active, the class active, and select container, so that we say display. So this is it for the CSS. We now need to work on the JavaScript. So let's now work on the JavaScript, and I think we can just expand these ones so that I like it this way. So the first thing, we need to get the elements, some elements from the HTML, and these elements we need this password class, we need the button, we need this alert container, and we also need the copy function, the copy. So we will use this as the class. Okay, now let's just start. Const. We'll start by selecting the button, and because it's a class, we will use document.query selector. Here it is, and its class is button. So like this, and now let's just copy down 4 times and change here. Getting the elements, we can start by adding the button. You can add the button, add the event listener. So just going to say button dot add event listener. So, and for this button, we want the event listener to be clicked, the event itself, and with the get password function. Okay. So now let's create this function get password and create it here. Function get password. Okay, and let's open the curly braces. And the first thing now, we need to define our characters, the characters that we want our password generator to use. So let's define them and call it password characters. Sorry. And I'll just copy them down here. I had already created them, and we paste it like that. Okay. So, and we also want to define the length of our password. We want our password to have, we can have 8 characters is okay. So password length equals to 8. Okay. Now, if anything else, we also want to let the password at first we want our password to have an empty string. So this way, And what this means, we want our password to be an empty string to store the generated password, to generate our password. And after this, the next thing is we want to use a for loop. Okay? We want to use a for loop to generate the characters, for our password, our characters one by one. So we're just going ahead to create the for loop. Okay, this one. You can see it has just generated here default values. So we are just going to change them. Okay, so the first thing is this one we're going to leave it this way. Index is equals to 0. This means index is just like in our case here, index may stand for a character, each character. Okay, so we want it to start at 0. As you all know, um, we count from 0. Okay, not 1. So our index at first will be 0, and then we want to say index less than, here we are going to change and say password length. Length, here it is. uh, Hope we have written it well this way. Okay, so what this does, this one, it sets a condition that determines when the loop should continue running. So in this case, it should continue running when the password length is less than, in our case it is 8. Okay, so that is what it means. And this one here, over here, index plus plus, for each iteration of this for loop, uh, one character is added. So this is just an increment, so we just write index plus plus. And then the next thing we need is to define how we are going to choose our characters one by one. So we'll just start by just say okay, we can just say random character. So yes, we have just defined a random character. Every random character that will form a password, we are going to use this method to generate a random one from our password characters, these ones, dot length. Okay, all of them. We are going to select randomly from all of them. That's why we are saying dot length. Okay, so the next thing is after defining this, we want also to define uh, how to ensure that this for loop will be only selecting one character at a time. Okay, so I'll just start saying what I have just written here. What it does, it selects a random character from this set here, from what we have included as our password characters. It selects a random one from those, and it ensures that only one is taken and added to the password. Okay, only one is taken at a time, and then adds it to the password. So this is what it means. Yeah. Now the next thing we need to do is to below here we want to say password value. We want to say that our, you see this area, this where is it, this password area. Okay, in this case here we want to say that value, the password area over here, dot value, which means its value is equals to password. Now our password, what we want, the password. So we want to define it to make sure it works. And now after that we need to change the text content of when we copy the password, flat container inner text equals to copied. Okay. So next thing after, okay, this is our create password function. We have already defined it. Now what we want to define is let's see how if it generates. So you can see it generates 8 characters. Now we can generate, but we cannot copy. Let's work on the copy function now. Okay, so just going to work it out over here. Let's move this one up, and we create it. So function copy password. Okay, inside it need to say password area dot select, sorry, not this one, dot select, and this one will ensure that when we copy our password, it selects the password. I'll just show you. Let's just continue. I will just show it. And the next thing is now to add the copy functionality, we need to say navigator clipboard, navigator dot clipboard dot write text. And inside it, we need to pass the password value, the password area dot value. We need to pass it inside it. That's like this. And now we need to add the click event, so that when we click on the copy icon over here, when we click it, it copies. Okay, so I'll just write copy. So we have, as you can see, after writing this, let me just explain. We have defined our copy password function, and we need the password to be selected when we copy, and also this one is now the actual method that will make our password to be copied to our clipboard. And now we added a click event using the add event listener. With we need a click to when this function to for this function to work, and we have set here our if statement and said if password area dot value, if this is true, we need our alert container. We need to remove the active class. Okay, we need to remove the active and set a timeout of 2000 milliseconds, which is also equivalent to 2 seconds. So this removing will delay it by 2 seconds, which is our timeout. Okay. So after removing it, after 2 seconds, and then we need the alert container dot class list dot add is executed. Okay. So as you can see on the final project, we can create and we can copy. When we copy, we get an alert. We copy, as you can see, select this one here, password area dot select. When we copy it, let's just create. When we copy it, it selects, and we get a pop-up here, which stays here for 2 seconds and then it disappears. That's why we define these conditions here. Yeah, so as you can see, that's the project. If you like this video, please subscribe, and you can also suggest the projects that you need us to build next. So thank you for watching. See you in the next project.